Last September, the A's watched the Texas Rangers celebrate their first AL West title since 1999 on their home turf.
Any team that is on top, they have a big bullseye on their back. And, as a team that's trying to get to that position, you go after that. So, we're just keep fighting and, keep trying to get to the top and, try our best.
Tonight, the Rangers return to the scene for their first meeting of 2011. The Athletics know that to win the division, they must play well against the defending champs. It's game 1 of 4, A's-Rangers, next. We are at the Overstock.com Coliseum. It is game 1 of a big 4-game series. The American League pennant winning Texas Rangers are in town. The A's back home to start a 7-game homestand. So Friday night baseball, and it's game 1. It's the Texas Rangers, and it's the Oakland A's coming up right here on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's baseball. Along with Ray Fossey, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Well, it's game 1 of the series, and we have a pair of #1 pitchers going. Trevor Cahill, C.J. Wilson. Ray, they both started opening day, and they're both 3-0.
And both very good pitchers, no doubt. We've seen Trevor Cahill, but C.J. Wilson last year became a starter for the first time. He won 15 games, an outstanding breaking ball. He also threw over 200 innings. He's back in the rotation, but the breaking ball very similar to what Brett Anderson throws down into the right-hander, so he definitely can be a strikeout pitcher. On the other side, Trevor Cahill has struck out 29 himself. Great curveball, changeup, two-seam fastball. Oh, by the way, he's still a ground ball pitcher. A great combination for a starting pitcher. Strikeouts and ground balls when you need them.
Well, the Texas Rangers made a big splash in free agency. They grabbed Adrian Beltre with a 5-year contract, and early on, he has not disappointed, Ray.
Well, if you think about it, the A's tried to sign him the last 2 years, couldn't do it. He went to Boston, and then the huge contract with the Texas Rangers. He's a Gold Glove third baseman. He's a power hitter, and I think the Rangers hope that he continues to do what he has been doing so far this young season. He's capable of hitting a lot of home runs. He did it with the Dodgers, not so much with the Seattle Mariners, definitely with the Red Sox last year. A very good all-around player for the Rangers this year.
So it's the first meeting of the year between these two teams, the Oakland A's and the Texas Rangers, and we got a marquee pitching matchup. We'll have lineups and first pitch when we come back.
A's baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by AT&T and by Toyota. Check out the great deals at your local Toyota dealer today.
Landon Powell and the rest of the Athletics take the field as we get set for game one of a 4-game series. It is Authentic Fan Friday, so right above us, those fans, well, they got the good deal tonight. Game time weather brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission is free. The boardwalk is open for spring break. It's April 16th until May 1st. 63 degrees. It's a nice night, a little cool. Indeed, a little breezy, but all in all, a nice night for baseball as the A's and the Rangers hook up for the first time here in 2011. Let's take a look at the Rangers lineup for tonight. You saw Ian Kinsler. He will indeed lead off and play second base. Then Elvis Andrus at short. Michael Young off to a great start. He's the designated hitter. Adrian Beltre at third. Talked about Beltre in our open. Nelson Cruz in right. David Murphy in left. Yorvi Torrealba is the catcher. Mitch Moreland will be at first. Julio Borbon is the center fielder.
Oh, Alice. White Rabbit. Trevor Cahill. Trevor's been very good this season, as we detailed, and there's no doubt his numbers against the Rangers also very good. 6-2 in his career in 9 starts, so very good pitching matchup in the first game of this series.
Defensively behind Trevor Cahill tonight, Willingham, DeJesus, Jackson, left, center, and right. Kuzmanov, Pennington, Ellis Barton around the infield. Landon Powell again behind the plate. Kurt Suzuki is here, and Kurt Suzuki will actually DH tonight. So Powell, the catcher, Kurt will DH. So we're about ready to go. Cahill has finished up the warm-up tosses, and Ian Kinsler steps in. So the first of, 19, huh? 10 here in Oakland, 9 in Texas. That's the season series between the A's and the Texas Rangers. So 7:07 first pitch, and the first pitch is a strike. So Kinsler, Andrus, and Young, the top 3 in the order.
And congratulations to the Suzukis. As you mentioned, Kurt Suzuki is the DH tonight and a father. He said, oh, tough 2 days. I said, come on, what are you talking about? You didn't have a tough 2 days. Renee might have had a tough 2 days, but not you. But we're on the family, so congratulations to the Suzukis. And just 1 day of the paternity leave.
Whoa, strike 3 call.
Thank you, Kerwin. And the Dodge Charger keys the game. Ian Kinsler doesn't like the strike zone #1, but this is 1 of 19 for the A's against the Rangers. The 2 teams playing in the Western Division. Cahill versus Wilson, pair of #1s. And hello, Overstock.com Coliseum.
Yeah.
Well, you handled that so well in the open. Like you just rolled right off your tongue.
I just want to say it correctly.
You did.
I did.
Are they going to change it to O.com?
Soon, yeah. Made a few purchases on Overstock.com in our household, trust me.
Well, this is a high fastball, a little 2-seamer coming back, but according to Kerwin Danley, it had the plate, and he likes the strike zone above the waist. And Kinsler did not like it, and we'll see a few guys swinging at some pitches tonight. And that would be helpful because you have 2 pitchers usually around the strike zone, and Trevor Cahill and C.J. Wilson.
Good changeup. Andrus swings and misses. 1-2 the count.
He's got a good one, and boy, for him to become a strikeout pitcher plus a ground ball pitcher, that's quite a change for a lot of the hitters watching Trevor Cahill.
It's hard to do. Be a ground ball guy and a strikeout guy.
Exactly. I mean, it's, if you need a strikeout, you can get it, but runner on base, or maybe first and third, you need a double play, you can get that as well.
Andrus has worked it full with Young in the on-deck circle. Just underway. Tapper foul. The Rangers come in with a 15-10 record. And they lead the Angels by 1 game. They lead the A's by 3 in the early going in the AL West. 5th season ready for Ron Washington, and of course the Rangers Made it all the way to the World Series last year. Their first trip to the Fall Classic. 3-2 pitch, just a bit outside.
See, that's the one you want to get. That maybe didn't come back enough. We don't have Tommy Cam tonight to be able to see exactly. This ball comes back, and I would have to think that Kerwin Danley called it low, which, as a pitcher, you would prefer to have that pitch called than the one up in the zone.
That was a better pitch, I think, than the pitch to Kinsler.
And also, you're going to get more ground balls if you get a hitter to swing at it. But now if they lay off that pitch and expect the high strike to be called, that's going to hurt at least Trevor. Same height, same pitch.
Michael Young steps in. Off to a good start. 337 is the batting average. That's 4th best in the American League. No home runs, 16 runs batted in. So amidst all the spring training controversy of whether he was going to get traded or not, he's off to a good start.
Well, as Ron Washington said, he's going to have him on the field as much as possible, whether he's playing one of the positions defensively or DHing.
Tapper. Cahill fires to first, so Young is out. Andrus to second, 2 outs.
The thing about Michael Young, he's too good of a player to not be a Texas Ranger. There's no doubt.
Batting in the 4th position.
Granted, he'd like to play defensively, but he can definitely hit. This ball topped Trevor Cahill. Very, very nice plays. He used the glove instead of trying to barehand the ball. Off the mound very quickly. And a nice underhand sidearm throw over to Derek Barton. He did not throw a two-seamer either.
So with 2 outs, Adrian Beltre will hit. Beltre, 7 home runs and 21 runs batted in with a .263 average. Slow start, and then he's heated up the last 8 to 10 games, so good numbers early on.
Remember, he was hurt during spring training, which I'm sure concerned the Rangers initially, but spring training being as long as it is, there was no problem with him coming back, and he's got a long-term deal. Rangers know they're going to have a Gold Glover playing third base and a very good hitter, probably hitting cleanup most, if not all, the time.
Just off the plate, 3-0.
Now, Cruz is a very good hitter behind him, very aggressive, but Beltre is one guy you might be looking at and saying, you don't want him to beat us, but he may be swinging 3-0 too. So if you don't give him a good pitch, but do a 3-0, be careful.
And a high strike called, 3-1. So the walk, and Cruz will hit with 2 on and 2 out. A couple of walks here in the first inning by Trevor Cahill.
Batting in the 5th position, right fielder, number 17.
Had 4 in his first game, 0 second, 3 third, 0 fourth, 1 in the last start. When you're facing a pretty good hitting ball club, you have a tendency to try to nibble a little bit, maybe too much, and so far he's done that with 2 batters in this Rangers lineup.
Cruz 6 homers, 15 runs batted in. First pitch outside.
A little breezy tonight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Give the Coliseum a new name and the wind picks up.
Authentic A's fan indeed. A 1-0 to Cruz. Now 2-0. Careful here on 2-0. Missed again, 3-0. Not missing by a lot, but they are a bit off the plate.
Garrett trying to get the attention of Landon Powell to try to find out how close those pitches are.
And that one is inside, so another walk, and they're loaded. Well, he's not all over the place, but his ball is moving like it usually does, just out of the strike zone a little bit.
Well, I think the first strikeout might have affected him because it's a high strike. Trevor Cahill's not a high ball pitcher, high strike pitcher. He's more of a sinker ball and goes for the corners. So far, 3 hitters for the Rangers have been very, very patient. Rangers are looking for a hit with 3 gifts on the bases. The A's looking for an out to get back in the dugout and try to calm down their starter.
Kerwin Daly's going to break up this meeting of the mound. The Rangers this year, 321 with runners in scoring position. And again,
he's talking to Kerwin Daly going back without really saying too much, because obviously cannot argue balls and strikes, make any comments if you want to stay in the game.
Position, left fielder, number 7, David Murphy.
So here's the left-handed hitting David Murphy. Murphy basically playing in place of Josh Hamilton, but a pretty good guy to plug in. First pitch is just a bit low. There's your runners. Andrus at third, Beltre at second, Cruz at first. And Murphy looks like he was taken all the way and takes a strike. 1-1 count.
Well, if you force a sinker ball pitcher to elevate his pitches, they straighten out, and that's what good hitters will do. Not swing at the ones that are at least starting at about thigh high. No, they're going to be out of the strike zone.
Hit hard. Mark Ellis has it. So Cahill is going to get out of the inning. He walks 3, and the Rangers leave him loaded. So bottom of the first coming up, no score. What's that value debt? There's the starting lineup for the Athletics tonight. Ellis, Barton, Jackson, Willingham, Suzuki, DeJesus, Kuzmanoff, Powell, and Pennington. Kurt Suzuki, the DH tonight.
Quite a season last year for C.J. Wilson. He started off this season just like he pitched last year. Won 15 games in his first year as a starter. Over 200 innings, a very impressive earned run average, leading the Rangers in those departments, and back to the rotation this year.
Rangers look like this defensively. Murphy, Borbone, Cruz left, center, and right. Beltre, Andrus, Kinsler, Moreland, third to first. Jorvik Torrealba is behind the plate for Wilson. So C.J. Wilson, the lefty, will face Ellis, Barton, and Jackson. First pitch, fastball in for a strike. .200 for Mark, no home runs, 5 RBIs. So Coco Crisp still out of the lineup. And Bob Guerin inserting Mark Ellis in that leadoff spot. Tapper toward Andrus. Throws low, dug out by Moreland. Andrus never looked comfortable on that play. Almost looked like he played it into a difficult play.
Well, that's one of the things that happened to Andrus his first year, a couple of years ago. Just kind of the easy play, and did not follow through. So I'm sure he will not need Ron Washington to say anything to him, which Wash did a couple of years ago. And Andrus very close to being Rookie of the Year as Andrew Bailey just beat him out.
So here's Derek Barton. Ray talked about C.J. Wilson, the starter last year for the first time. 15-game winner. ERA of 3.35 last year. And he went over 200 innings. That's pretty impressive, Ray, for your first time in the rotation.
Well, you can say he had a lot left because he was in the closer role in the bullpen in general. Stretched it out during spring training and to not only pitch during the season, but very good postseason. And with Cliff Lee not re-signing with the Rangers, with the Philadelphia Phillies, C.J. Wilson takes over as the #1 starter. So he and Cliff Lee back-to-back lefties last year.
Struck out 170, and you saw on the note opponents hit just 217 against him. So he's got good stuff. He will walk guys occasionally.
Maddox, the pitching coach.
One and two to Barton. Checks his swing. Now, all that is the good news for the Rangers. The difficult part about it is Wilson is a free agent after this year. So they're going to have to make a decision. Do they keep him, and how much money are they going to give him? He's 30 years old. And he's a top of the rotation guy.
Well, and interesting for him, you try to determine, he's a closer and a very good one prior to last year. Then becomes a starter. Guys will say, well, I want to be a starter, get more money. Maybe that's what Neftali Feliz was thinking about, but he is probably where he should be, and that is as a closer. Because you have a lead, you go to the 9th inning, the way Feliz pitched last year, pretty good chance you're going to win the game. Not that you can just go out and find a starter anytime, but Ron Washington said Feliz can do either or. Just so happens they prefer to have him in the bullpen.
Kinsler has it. Barton is retired. And C.J. Wilson was a decent closer, but I think he's a better starter than he was a closer. And that's not a criticism of him as a closer.
Right fielder, number 28, Connor Jackson.
You go from a 1-inning pitcher basically to starter in over 200 innings. That is a major transition.
Wilson was a 5th-round draft pick of the Texas Rangers back in 2001. Center field, Bourbon coming in, dives, can't get it, rolls past him. Connor Jackson will head the second. Ball is picked up by Nelson Cruz, who did a nice job of backing up the play. Jackson with a double.
And how many times do we say it? A poor judgment call by the center fielder Bourbon with 2 outs. You never want to see this happen. A's will take it if they can get a hit to drive Connor Jackson home, but this is a base hit. You give him the single, you keep him at first base by diving at the ball, and he missed it by several feet. And really, no chance. And he tried to slap the ball down with his glove, but, you know, that's a ball clearly. You give the guy a single, say maybe it's going to take 2 hits to drive him in. Now, basically it takes 1. So Connor Jackson, a double with 2 outs, and Josh Willingham back in the lineup. He got his off day yesterday, following a couple of days in Anaheim because of the shoulder area, left shoulder, where he got hit Sunday in Seattle. And bothering him a little bit, so stiffness. And with all the horrible devastation down in the South in Alabama, where Josh is from, he said his family, everybody's okay, which is good news. Still hate to see everything that's happening down in the South with the tornadoes. Man.
Roy Oswald went back home.
Yes, he did.
Make sure everything was okay.
Well, I think that's the second time he's done that.
Yep.
Left the club with Houston and then with Philadelphia. Well, he jumped on his Caterpillar trying to help out.
Yep. Oh, 0-2 to Josh Willingham. Right there with a fastball on 3 pitches. Willingham strikes out. The A's get the double from Jackson. He's stranded, and we're scoreless after 1. Overstock.com. Coliseum.
You got it. So that's twice. 3 times. Is it once an inning?
I'm going to do it once an inning.
I think that'd be good. You get it just to where it just rolls off your tongue just so smoothly.
Yorvit Torioba leading it off.
I just wonder how much Trevor Cahill and Landon Powell talked. I mean, it's pretty obvious what Herbert Danley's strike zone was going to be tonight, but something you might see pitcher and catcher talk about between innings and say, well, I might have to elevate a little bit. That's a much better pitch. That's the one Trevor Wilkes called.
Oh, 2 to Torioba. Breaking ball in the dirt. 25 pitches in that first inning for Cahill when he walked the bases loaded and then got out of it. Slowly hit. Tough play for Kuzminov on the bare hand. He throws and he got it. What a play by Kuzminov. Nice stretch by Barton, and Torioba's out. I think Torioba thought he had a base hit.
Well, he topped it. That's one of the problems of the sinker ball pitcher. You top it, especially with 2 strikes playing back. But Kuz, what a great play. He started to kind of surround him a little bit to go around and make a better play and easier for him, but the ball changed directions. And Torioba, when he jumped at the bag, that's when he was called out. Good scoop by Derek Barton. A great play
by Kevin Kuzminov. You make a bare hand play and get enough on your throw from underneath, that's doing something.
Here's Mitch Moreland. Saw Moreland at the end of last year. Rangers think that he's going to be a pretty good player. In fact, I think he made his major league debut against the A's.
Yep.
Hits that one high to right field. Jackson's back. He's at the wall, in front of the wall. He's got it. 2 outs.
And that's what he did very well last year, as a matter of fact.
Time now for the Ford right choice. May 7th of 2009. Trevor Cahill against these Texas Rangers, his first major league win. He went 7 innings, gave up just 5 hits and 1 earned run, 97 pitches. First major league win, May 7th, 2009 for Trevor Cahill, and it came against these Texas Rangers. Yeah, a youngster.
Yeah.
Well, Cahill made 5 starts against the Rangers in 2009. He made 5 starts against them last year. And he is going to have a 3-up, 3-down second inning. Julio Borbon grounds out. Just 9 pitches needed for Trevor Cahill. '76, we are not just top-tier detergent gas, we're on the driver's side. No score, bottom of the second inning, the A's and the Texas Rangers. Kurt Suzuki, David DeJesus, Kevin Kuzminov here in the second. A's with a 12-13 record on the year, so they're trying to get back to that 500 mark. They're 4-5 at home, 8-8 on the road. So lots of road games early for the Athletics. Coming off the 3-4 road trip to Seattle and Anaheim. They're still waiting for that offense to get rolling. I feel like when that does happen, they'll be able to push past that 500 mark. The A's scored just 19 runs in the 7 games on the trip and were shut out 3 times. Big hopper to Beltre. And Suzuki's out. 1 away here in the second. But pretty good pitching too. You face Hernandez and Pineda, and Seattle, Weaver.
Watch this with Beltre. Instead of continuing, he kind of stops. It's kind of a unique way in which he catches the ball and then throws the ball. A lot of guys who catch it and just keep the momentum going towards first base, but he kind of stops. But Xavi won 6 straight, then Beltre took over, won a couple of Gold Gloves, and Evan Longoria probably, he stays healthy, has a chance to win a few. Beltre has definitely had the good hands for the years that he's played Major League Baseball.
David DeJesus hitting .232, no homers and 8 RBIs.
How many runs did you say the A's scored in that trip?
19 runs in 7 games. And they were shut out 3 times.
I was going to say, because Trevor Cahill got 9 runs in his 1 start.
Well, that's exactly, that's right. One of the wins was 9-1. You're right. But Hernandez and Pineda shut down the A's, and then Weaver. Murphy got a good jump. He's going to get back there and make the catch. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Kevin Kuzminoff will hit.
Bring your kids out to the Coliseum for this Sunday's game against the Rangers. 7,500 kids, 14 and under, will get an A's player magnet presented by Comerica Bank. This set features Brett Anderson, Trevor Cahill, and your closer Andrew Bailey. For tickets, call 877-493-BALL or go to OaklandAthletics.com/tickets.
Kuzminoff steps in, hitting .222 with a couple of home runs, 9 RBIs. I still think, Rand, I don't have anything to back this up with. Something opinion. I think there's more good starting pitching now around baseball than in a long time.
I agree, and I think seeing a change in the game to where it's back to pitching and defense, and not a lot of scoring. And not just the A's. I mean, there's some teams that have very good hitters, 1 through 9, but are not scoring runs. The Yankees are hitting a ton of home runs. Even they lost tonight, are losing to the Blue Jays. So you get good pitching, and kind of helps you whenever you like to say it, but I'm sure pitchers don't want to hear it. It kind of makes you a better pitcher if you go out knowing that maybe you're not going to get a lot of offense. You have to pitch a shutout.
Maybe.
But I think over the course of a season, you get in postseason, and you play close games, can do nothing but help you. But on the other hand, give me some offense. I mean, just like Tyson Ross, as he said today, which rightfully so, every pitcher will say, well, got to win. But 76 pitches in 7 innings. For Tyson Ross, he got 1 run support, and that was an unearned run. And Angels scored an unearned run in the 9th, and the A's won a gift in the 10th.
Kuzminoff with the 2-out walk.
Maybe if that bunt hit batter hadn't been called correctly,
it was a break.
He might not have won the game.
The catcher,
in the 9th inning.
number 11, Landon Powell.
Here's Landon Powell hitting in the 8th spot. Powell 263 with a couple of RBIs. 5 hits in 19 at-bats for Powell. A couple games just went final. The Angels won 8-5 over the Rays, and the Mariners won 5-4 at Fenway. So the Angels win and the Mariners win. Mariners playing good baseball. We'll give you some goodies from those 2 games in a little while.
Got our stat man back, B.I.
We do.
Doesn't even have a coat and tie on either. Or shirt and tie. It's in the back? Yeah, sure did. It's all right, B.I. We had Brian in Anaheim, but he looked sharp. Did a good job, but nobody compares to you.
I agree with you. That's the updated standings with the Angels win and the Mariners win. The Mariners have won 4 in a row.
You throw Felix Hernandez and Michael Pineda at you back to back, they got a chance to win some games.
Yeah. Michael Pineda won last night. The Mariners finished off a sweep of the Tigers. Pineda's now 4-1 with an ERA of 2.01.
He's still learning.
He is still learning. We were very impressed when he faced the Athletics. 3-0 pitch in there, first strike. The Angels, with that win over the Rays, cooled off the Rays. The Bay had won 5 in a row. Off speed pitch and a good pitch on 3-1. Now full count, 2 outs. So Kuzminoff to take off.
A lot of pitchers have definitely changed their approach, style of pitching, the pitches they throw with runners on base. In this case, runner not in score position, but you see the way C.J. Wilson, after struggling with 3 fastballs, has come in with 2 very good pitches for strikes.
So back-to-back walks, and Cliff Pennington steps in looking for a big hit.
Well, this was Wednesday, and Borges came over, maybe distracted Vernon Wells. It goes for a triple. And then Connor Jackson hit it off the plate. Only 1 out. That was the first, and there's your game, folks. 2-1. The A's win in 10 innings.
There was about a 5-minute period there where we were not feeling all that great. But the A's got that run right back and won it in the 10th inning. Breaking ball and a good one from Wilson.
Brandon McCarthy said in the clubhouse after the game, is Peter Borges should say, Mr. Wells, Mr. Hunter, you guys stay on the lines. I'll take everything right center, left center. He has so much speed. And it looked like he may have just distracted Vernon Wells enough that he couldn't find the ball.
Yep.
You know, if he lost to the lights, with the Gold Glover playing left field and 9-time Gold Glover in right field, they're going to catch a lot of things, most everything. That break went to the A's.
In the dirt, blocked by Torrealba.
Tom Torrealba called for the curveball, put his glove, his catcher's mitt on the dirt, wanting his pitcher to throw the ball there. He did. And saying, you throw it there, I'll block it. There's the mitt on the ground, and there's the block. Excellent technique by Torrealba. Just don't stop the ball with your mask.
Kuzminoff and Powell, the runners.
A lot of breaking pitches in this at bat.
Fastball there. Pennington had a good swing. 236, a homer and 6 runs batted in for the A's shortstop. Another 1-2, strike 3 call, the fastball, and Pennington knew it. So the A's strand a pair. We're headed to the 3rd. No score. Sportsnet Central is brought to you by Hyundai. Tonight at 10:30 on our sister station Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Highlights from this game and the Sharks and the Red Wings. Game 1 going on down at the Shark Tank. And Raiders and 49ers back to work. Day 2 of the NFL Draft. So it'll be a full show, no doubt. Top of the third, top of the order for the Rangers. Kinsler, Andrus, and Young. First pitch swinging. Pennington a long ways to his left. Goes on the run and a nice play. So with one out, let's head upstairs to Kate Longworth, who is in the Comcast Sportsnet Value Deck. Kate?
Yeah, I'm sitting here with some authentic fans, guys, Ben and Morgan. And our last Authentic Fan Friday, Ben was watching at home on TV, and he said he has to be out here this week because why? What makes you an A's authentic fan?
Well, I went to spring training this year, and the players were just so nice, and they were playing catch with the fans in the stands, and it was just a great experience. So I really like the A's.
And it's a great deal because, Dad, you get to bring the family out here for $12 and you get $6 back to buy some merchandise and food. What's it mean to you to bring your family out here?
Oh, it's a tremendous deal, and the view from up here is awesome. You know, what a better way to end up the week, start the weekend, sitting up in the stands, taking in the A's. It's just an awesome deal.
And Ben, you're all decked out, and what do you have here?
Oh, they have a photo booth.
The newest thing up here, guys, in the Value Deck for Authentic Fan Friday. Photo booth, you get to put your face on a baseball card. And so really, can you ask for a better deal than sitting up here? So, guys, let's go back to you. I'm going to enjoy this game with these authentic fans.
All right, thanks, Kate. So it sounds like they're having a good time up there, and that's exactly what we hope for.
Especially you put your face on a baseball card.
Maybe Kate Longworth is going to head to the photo booth. Who knows? That is up there. Do what you want. You can go with the Raleigh Fingers look. Has to be a popular item.
Well, you know, you go in there and everybody says, well, what kind of baseball card do you have? And you throw it over in the back and you put the numbers.
Anything you want. Michael Young, a line drive base hit. That is a Michael Young single right there. So every home Friday night game, it's Authentic Fan Friday. The next one would be May 13th against the Chicago White Sox, and that's going to be a special night because the two Oakland A's TV announcers are going to be doing the game from the Comcast Sportsnet Value Deck. It's going to be fun, all right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're going to be up there, buddy, you and I.
Thanks for telling me.
It's going to be awesome.
VI's got the same look that I had. I didn't get the memo.
It's going to be great. We're going to have fun.
I hope it's warm.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be nice and warm up there, and we're going to have a good time.
And I thought you were going to say the diamond level.
You could do that later in the year.
Barbecue
we
terrace.
Could do it in both spots. We're going to have such a good time. Pennington handles an in-between hop, and Beltre's retired. A hit and a runner left. Bottom of the third coming up. Ellis, Barton, and Jackson will hit for the A's. Top of the order for the A's. A's with one hit. That was a Connor Jackson 2-out double in the first inning. A couple of walks, a couple of strikeouts for C.J. Wilson. He's thrown 40 pitches through the first 2 innings.
Well, the 2 big pitches for him. Runner in scoring position. Right-handed hitter. Fastball in. Called 3rd strike. Willingham and Cliff Pennington. So something the A's might in the future look for. In a situation with runner in scoring position. No doubt a different pitcher for C.J. Wilson with runners out there, and in this case Mark Ellis leading off.
Just a little bit low. Change up, 2-1. Ellis grounded out to short in the first inning. Another changeup, and again grounded to short. Andrus makes the play, and that's 1 out here in the 3rd. Well, visit csncalifornia.com and vote for the 2011 All-Star Teacher. Check out the finalist bios and video features. The winning teacher receives $20,000 for his or her school. And that gentleman right there, Victor Doan, well, he's one of the finalists. Teacher at San Leandro High School. So good luck to Victor Doan. 4 other finalists. Check out all their information. Go to csncalifornia.com. The voting ends on June 5th. So good luck to Victor. Barton drills one to center. Bourbon racing back, spinning around, leaps up off his glove. Barton to second, and he will stop there.
But it came in on the ball, and he tried to make a diving play, missed it. Tried to go back on the ball, and it was knuckling on him a little bit. And maybe a little gusty wind. Derek Barton, though, a very solid swing on a ball straight away. Sounded great, and Bourbon probably should have caught the ball. As he went back, but it looked like it did knuckle on him a little bit as he turned his back and then popped out of his glove.
To there. How about that?
Wow.
I hope Derek Barton doesn't look up at the scoreboard.
Where's the BI? Oh. Bring him over here and let him look at a replay.
So it goes as an air 8.
That's a tough play. I'm not even going to put it in my book yet.
Huh.
Because I don't want to have to use a whiteout.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one either.
Yeah. And if you don't get a hit on something like that, it's tough to come out and expect to do anything.
Down around the knees, a strike to Connor Jackson. Jackson had a double in the first. Strike 2. That one, the high strike that we've seen Kerwin Danley call.
Think about C.J. Wilson, makes him a little bit tougher to hit. He has a very slow, kind of a deliberate wind up and or stretch, and ball jumps out of his hand very, very easy, but a lot of velocity. I think it just sneaks up on some of the hitters, especially the fastball in.
Connor Jackson did not get hit. The ball rolls away, and going over to third is Barton. Torrealba thinks that it hit him, and now they are going to say it did hit him. So Barton will have to go back to second.
That's a hard slider down and in. And I guess Kerwin Danley didn't know exactly what happened initially. No appeal, no help from one of the corner umpires. What got him on the right foot, that was a change of direction. And of course, really, it's kind of comparable to a home plate umpire calling a check swing, right?
But he didn't really call it right away.
No, he didn't, because he didn't know what happened. Because he thought it was a ball in the dirt.
But if you don't know what happened right away, you're not going to know what happened 10 seconds later.
So you say to the first base umpire, what happened? But he made the call without getting help, right?
Exactly. So RBI chance for Willingham. Breaking ball and a good one. Snaps in there, down and in.
Willingham, one of the hitters in the first inning, one of the hitters that Wilson has faced, where he threw the fastball inside. Actually 3 pitches to Josh to get the strikeout. For Wilson, the 0-2 was the fastball in.
Long look by Wilson. A flare down the right field line, but that's going to drop foul. So 1-2. Outfield shaded toward right center, and Cruz in right field is playing very shallow. And that one hit foul. So Cruz is probably thinking he's got that great arm. He wants to have a play at the plate. There's a base hit to right field. Willingham struck out looking in the first inning. Down the left field line and foul. So good battle here between Wilson and Willingham.
So he was looking for it that time. Pulled the hands in, and Josh did it in Seattle. Got a 2-run single in the Sunday game on a similar pitch inside. And getting good hitters know, of course, he struck out his last at bat, fastball in. This time got 2 strikes. Look, pulled the hands in. And also go to the slider.
Reached for toward right field. Cruz is going to be in fair territory. He makes the catch. Barton will hustle over to third. So 2 outs, first and third. And Kurt Suzuki's going to take his shot here against Wilson. A's base runners are there thanks to an error and a hit batter.
0 for 1 in the first inning, 0 for 1 in the second inning, 0 for 1 so far. So that's 0 for 20 in the road for the Angels series. Runners in scoring position, and 0 for 3 for tonight so far.
It's been an issue.
Yes, it has, big time.
The A's coming into today, Ray, 204 as a team with runners in scoring position. Another one, shallow right. Kinsler racing out, and it's going to fall. Cruz, Kinsler coming together, could not make the play.
Cruz wasn't playing the same position he was for Josh Willingham. And Kinsler, you know, if Kinsler hadn't been there, maybe Cruz would have caught it. I think that maybe what happened. He got there and looked up a little bit, thinking about a collision. Well, you can see guys running after the ball. It makes it tough, makes it look easy up here as to why they didn't catch it. But then they get there, the communication, guys going for a ball, knowing that it's full out, trying to get to it. Doesn't necessarily mean that it is going to be caught. In that case, it wasn't.
Barton at third, Jackson at first. 57 pitches so far in the game for C.J. Wilson, so he has thrown a lot so far. Shot past Beltre, and the A's lead. So Kurt Suzuki comes through with a 2-out RBI hit.
There's a breaking ball inside that Kurt Suzuki left it up, did Wilson, and Kurt Suzuki hammered it. So a solid base hit. Breaking ball right there. Kurt did a great job of waiting and then dropping the head of the bat, and Even the Gold Glover at third base couldn't handle it. Great swing by Kurt Suzuki.
So that is RBI number 4 for Suzuki. And here's David DeJesus with a breaking ball. This one in first strike.
Marbone looking at his glove. Didn't help him when he go for the ball. First inning. Anytime an outfielder has to try to catch a ball with his back to the infield, and I don't care if he gets a glove on it or not, it's not the same as the ball that's coming in for or it's in front of him.
Shouldn't be an error.
I agree.
DeJesus hit a fly ball to left field in the second inning. Rolled past the mound. Andrus is going to run to second by himself. He thought Kinsler would be there. He wasn't. But Andrus takes care of it. Side retired. The A's get a run thanks to Kurt Suzuki's 2-out RBI hit. Nelson Cruz led the majors last season with 3 walk-off home runs. Who was the last A's player to hit 3 in a season? That one's driven to center. DeJesus on the move, goes into a slide, makes the catch.
Three in a season, huh? David going down to his knees, ball a little bit high. Fortunately, concentrated on it. He's on a streak of a lot of games without an error. So good play by DeJesus playing center field. Coco, we hope he's back soon. Get him back in the lineup, and of course he needs to be healthy considering his wheels. Help him have a great game, whether he's playing center field or on the bases. That scares.
That's who I was going to say.
I figure that's a reasonable call.
Yeah. Big curve drops in 1-2 to David Murphy, who grounded out with the bases loaded in the first inning.
Matt Stairs might have the record for hitting the most home runs off Japanese-born pitchers. He hit against everybody. Just seemed like This man had some very good years with the A's. Yeah. Continues. They'll remember him in Philadelphia for a while when they won the World Series.
So full count to Murphy with Torrealba in the on-deck circle. And it's low, and the 3-2 pitch. So Murphy with the walk. Coco Crisp out of the lineup because of this right here. This was Tuesday in Anaheim.
Actually, he felt it running to first base, and then of course once he got past the bag trying to beat out or avoid a double play, which he did, but came up a little bit lame, had to come out of the game. And he doesn't like it because he's having a very good season, had 3 consecutive 3-hit games.
First pitch to Torrealba is a strike.
Just think if every team put 25 players on the team and nobody ever got hurt. How would that? To go through an entire season with not one person going to the Sabres. Huh. That'd be great.
Yeah, it would.
I would love to be. Had a few years
for
like
anybody
that.
Who's ever played. Right?
Yeah. But I mean, injuries are so much a part of the game. It's unbelievable. That's why you need to have the depth, and the A's have the depth this year, which is good.
0-2 to Torrealba. Torrealba hit a little roller to third. His first at bat, Kevin Kuzminoff barehanded it and made a very nice play and threw out Torrealba. Torrealba, a free agent signee by the Rangers. In fact, they gave him a 2-year, $6.2 million contract.
One of the Molina brothers did a great job with him in the second half, Benji Molina. I think Benji could get a job this year if they could find him.
I think if he just came out and said, yeah, I'm going to play, somebody probably would grab it. Swing and a miss. Torrealba strikes out, and then is strikeout number 2 by Cahill. Here's our Farmers Insurance report card for tonight. Lowest ERA versus the Rangers in Oakland history. So all those guys, ace pitchers, obviously. A couple of year-old teammates on there. Three of them. Yeah. Lindblad, Fingers, Holzman, and Trevor Cahill.
Mike Moore in the late 80s, that great pitching staff of Bob Rush, Dave Stewart, Storm Davis, Mike Moore. Raleigh and Lindblad, relievers. Of course, Kenny Holtzman, one of the great lefty starters. One of 3 20-game winners in 1973. Catfish Vida and Kenny Holtzman all winning at least 20.
Mitch Moreland hit a long fly ball to right field. This one he taps down the third base line. It's a fair ball, and it's going to be an infield hit. Just a check swing. It went right over the bag. So how about that? Moreland, his first at bat, hits one about 5 feet from the wall. And then hits this one.
Excuse me.
Right about 90 feet.
And Kevin Kuzminoff, a good job of not throwing the ball. He had no chance to get Moreland. He just shaded Moreland off the line because he is a pull hitter. You know, when something like that happens, you decide that you have no chance. And just with the foul territory here, you make a bad throw to first with a runner going to second. There's a pretty good chance he's going to score, because the catcher cannot back up a play with the runner on base, and especially in scoring position.
First pitch to Julio Bourbon is low. So the second opportunity the Rangers have had against Cahill. And that one's hit hard to Pennington. Throws to second, and Cahill gets out of it. So a couple more runners stranded by the Rangers. They've stranded 6 through the first 4 innings. Cruz led the majors last season with 3 walk-off home runs. Who was the last A's player to hit 3 in a season? And we guessed Matt Stairs, and we were right. It happened in 1999. A's with a 1-0 lead, bottom of the 4th inning. Kuzminoff, Powell, Pennington, the bottom 3 against C.J. Wilson. It was Kurt Suzuki's 2-out RBI hit. It was last inning, the only run of the game so far.
A's have not scored they've scored an earned run in the 10th inning Wednesday, but 9 innings of baseball against the Angels on Wednesday, unearned run, and this one also, as the official score deemed it a misplayed ball in a sense by the center fielder. The ball hit his glove, but poor Derek Barton, he got robbed of 2 hits in Anaheim. The ball down the line to hit actually in fair territory, and he was safe by at least a foot at first base. 2 hits in 1 game that he did not get. And tonight, hopefully got a double, but that's ruled an error.
So the worst thing to say to Derek Barton right now, hey, it all evens out. That would be a bad thing to say. Keep swinging it. That would be a bad thing to say. Hang in there.
In other words, just don't say anything.
That's kind of the point.
A's can hang on to win and say, hey, you did a great job.
Nothing like being in a slump and keep swinging it. 3-2 to Kuzminoff. Breaking ball, and Kuzminoff lays off, and it's a walk.
In honor of Ricky Henderson and his single season record of 130 stolen bases, the A's are hiding 130 many bases throughout the East Bay for you to steal. The giveaway started last Monday, and 10 bases are being hidden each day through tomorrow. To get the clues and find the bases, follow the A's on Twitter or visit OaklandAthletics.com. Fans who find one of the bases win 2 tickets for tomorrow's game. Better hurry. And a voucher for a Ricky Henderson bobblehead presented by Kingsford Capital Management. So you got to be finding that base tonight sometime, huh? Or right now. Or tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Could be like an Easter egg hunt. A week after Easter. Let me find that base.
Landon Powell walked in the 2nd inning. Wilson walked Kuzminoff and Powell with 2 outs, but then got out of the inning. Change up, down and away, 2-1. 70 pitches now for C.J. Wilson. He will not get a complete game tonight.
Might be hard. Yeah. Good job the A's tonight so far, and it is just the 4th inning, but I wouldn't say predictable in a sense, in a way. Some pitches are being thrown, but there's no doubt we showed in our open the strikeouts that he had, the hard slider down and in to right-handers, and because I think these guys playing behind Brett Anderson and Gio Gonzalez, a couple of lefties that throw the similar breaking ball down and into right-handers. You kind of know what's coming. At least you're not as aggressive as swinging over them. But he's very good with a fastball in.
And the Rangers so far this year 7th in the league in team ERA, 4.03, so they're right in the middle. But their bullpen is a little bit in disarray right now. Center field, and that's it well. Bourbon is going to get there, and he's got it right at the warning track. Kuzminoff hustles back to first.
Well, that's a great swing by Landon Powell, and that also, maybe a little bit towards the end, that kept it in the park. And maybe the swirling winds helped keep it down. Let's see where it hit. Yeah, a little bit towards the end, but great swing. Sounded great off the bat. Bourbon this time able to get back and not have to turn his back to the infield to make the catch.
One out for Cliff Pennington. Pennington struck out looking in the second inning, stranding a pair of runners. So the Rangers bullpen, obviously without the closer, Neftali Feliz. That's a big loss, although he's not going to be out a real long time. Darren O'Day, who was a very good reliever for them last year, he's going to be out for a couple months.
How about Brett Tomko? Did you see him?
Yeah, he's down in the bullpen.
Yeah.
So it's just a different bullpen right now. Darren O'Day had surgery on his hip. Scott Feldman, who's a couple years ago was maybe their best starter, he's had injury troubles. Tommy Hunter, a starter, and they're still waiting for Brandon Webb. They don't know when he's going to be able to help out. And of course, Hamilton has a shot to center, and that's a base hit. Pennington is aboard. Hit number 3 for the A's. So the Rangers playing a little short-handed right now, and of course the biggest loss is Hamilton.
Now Victor Martinez catching the ball, and Hamilton going in with the head first slide, and right there slammed his right arm into the dirt, and see him holding his right arm. That was a play that, I guess in hindsight, he thought he could only get to the plate by sliding head first, but fractured a bone in his shoulder, I guess it was. On Washington said he's swinging a little bit, but ahead of schedule of what they plan and the time that it's going to take. Talked as much as 8 weeks before he'd be able to come back.
So you're not going to see him before June, that's for sure.
Not think.
So the Rangers, with all those injuries, maybe they should be happy being 15-10. Mark Ellis flips one to right. Cruz gets over there. So Ellis is 0 for 3, and that's 2 outs. Well, the Rangers started the season 9-1, but since then they have gone 6-9. So they were red out early.
Remember last year at the Interleague play, they were similar record, about 11-1 or something like that, and the A's were 2-10, 2-11, and that man is leading it, Nolan Ryan. That's not Nolan, but that's his jersey. He is running the Rangers.
A's need another 2-out hit. Kuzmanoff at second, Pennington at first, and here's Derek Barton. And they're not going to get it. Barton pops it up. Andrus is underneath it, and he's got it side retired. So the A's strand 2 more. They have stranded 7 through 4 innings. So lots of runners left on base. 1-0 Athletics. little chilly tonight, but comfortable. Steeler fan in the house. How about that?
It's your favorite time. It's football draft, so not surprising.
Yeah. You got any thoughts about the draft?
No.
No. Okay.
This is April. This is baseball.
Okay. So let's see if you thought the Raiders needed anything specific or the Niners.
No clue.
Take the best player available, right?
Baseball draft's coming up in June.
Yeah. Top of the order for the Rangers. And there's a shot to center and a base hit. So Kinsler has his first hit, the third hit for Texas off Cahill. Here's our true story. It's brought to you by McDonald's. April 1st through the 3rd, Ian Kinsler and Nelson Cruz homer in the first 3 games of the season. They became the first teammates to do so. It's a new Major League record, and the Rangers swept the Red Sox to begin that season. So they had a huge opening series against the Red Sox, and they just pounded the Red Sox.
Really, I don't think many people, if any, thought the Red Sox would go into Arlington, Texas, play the Rangers and get swept the way they did.
No.
Or to start the season 0-6 the way they did.
Cruz would homer in the 4th game of the season as well. Mays and McGuire, only 2 other guys to homer in the first 4 games of a season.
Ron Washington put the hit and run on with Elvis Andrus at the plate, and Kinsler at first. Of course, sinker ball pitcher and Trevor Cahill. He has 7 ground ball outs in the first 4 innings.
Andrus a walk and a pop out to second so far in the game. Strike 3 called right there. Andrus knew it, and that is strikeout number 3 for Cahill.
And that 2-seam fastball starts it outside, and very easy for a right-hander to give up on the pitch. Watch it come back right there. It comes right back into the zone. It's similar to the pitch he throws against lefties. Watch him just give up on it. Now it's going to be outside, and let's go back to the dugout because he knows what's the movement. And so, in a sense, the right-handers feeling the same thing lefties do with the movement of the 2-seam fastball.
So Michael Young steps in. Young has a base hit. That was in the 3rd inning. Also bounced back to the pitcher. Gives her a pretty good lead at first. Coming into the action tonight, Young 4th in the league in hitting behind Batista, Bosch, and Hafner.
Pronk will be in Tuesday. The Indians in town, the very hot Cleveland Indians. Did it again tonight?
A walk-off grand slam to win it for the Tribe. So good for the Indians. 17-8. Good pitch right there. 0-2.
17-8 and not drawing anybody. Big article today in the USA Today about the Rust Belt. Cleveland, Detroit, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. Teams in the Midwest that unfortunately the business, unemployment, a lot of things happening economically and not drawing people. And here the Tribe's off to a tremendous start and have to get people in the yard.
In their win tonight, 11th consecutive home win.
That's right.
They lost their first 2 home games of the year and now have ripped off 11 straight. So they're playing well at home. Just not sure anybody's seeing it, unfortunately. 2-2 now to Young with Beltre in the on-deck circle.
Trevor Cahill still not getting that sinker. That's down a little bit. Curlin Daly started the first hitter calling the higher strike. Not good for a sinker ball pitcher.
And Michael Young chased it, and that's strikeout number 4.
Boy, threw it hard, and Michael Young, usually very patient, goes the opposite field very well, but that change up in the dirt biting hard, and Trevor sold it, and even the very good hitter Michael Young could not hold up his swing. Well, you'd think a hitter who hits as well in the opposite field as Michael Young does, he'd never do that. He'd be staying back, but that's just a great delivery by Cahill and the changeup. So back-to-back strikeouts.
Beltre, first pitch, grounds out, side retired. So a leadoff single by Kinsler, but no damage done. Bottom of the 5th coming up. It'll be Jackson, Willingham, and Suzuki. Boy, eat fresh. Ask Glenn a question. Jamie from Fremont asks, why is the visiting bat boy always sprinting everywhere, and where does he get those jerseys? Talking about Brett, the visiting bat boy, who indeed is full of hustle. And he's having a good time, and you know what? That's the most important thing. And he does work hard.
Well, he's an A's fan, but he has put on that visiting uniform because he is with Micah Thalbaum, the visiting clubhouse manager, who does a great job. And it's the visiting team usually will bring the uniform.
Connor Jackson into the left field corner, and that will be a leadoff double. A good night for Connor Jackson.
Well, a base hit or a double in his first at bat on a gift when Bourbon dove for the ball, and this time hooking it down the line. Plenty of fair territory and a nice leadoff double. See if the A's can do something with it. But the visiting team usually will bring the uniform for the bat boy because Mikey Thalbaum's not going to have a uniform from every team in the clubhouse, so they'll bring it. And Brett does a very good job. He does hustle. Is to probably just show his enthusiasm in the game. He is an A's fan. He wants the A's to win, but he's working also for the Rangers. He doesn't show any of his partisan,
probably not a good idea.
No, but he does a good job, and the A's have 2 bat boys, so that's. I think our boy Kevin's down there. He's not down the left field line anymore. Got upgraded.
Well, and I would guess the A's bat boys are also in charge of the baseballs to the umpire.
Exactly. There's the man, our star. Talking just like he did down in the bullpen, just a different person.
Never quite found out how that all went with Kev.
We'll have to interview him one night. Maybe somebody will go down there.
There's Brett. Brett just says, I want to hang with my guys just for half an inning.
Always smiling. Still none better than Matty and Cliffy. I don't care what you say. They kind of set the standard. Raised the bar up really high. Cliff Clavin, Matt Weiss. Still think they ought to come out of retirement just once. At the beginning on. Down in the home bat boy area and show how they did it way back when.
Run that by him, see how they feel. I think I just saw Brett. I think I read his lips say, hey, I was the Subway Eat Fresh Ask Glenn and Ray question. And now they're talking about me.
And all the pelotas, the baseballs right there. That the umpires never rub up. That should be our next Subway Eat Fresh question is, who rubs up all the baseballs?
Yeah. It's an art form.
I'll send him the question.
Ray from Danville wants to know.
Why are the umpires' hands always clean if they rub up the mud on the baseball?
Battle here between Wilson and Willingham. Left center. Bourbon is not going to get it. It's off the wall. Connor Jackson digging around third. Throw to the plate is offline. That's a double, and it's a 2-0 A's lead.
Welcome back, Josh. Missed a couple of games due to an injury and had some opportunities in this game and takes advantage of an off-speed pitch, pulls it in left center. Connor Jackson thinking maybe Bourbon was going to catch it, so he's going to go back and tag. And this is dangerous. Not a bad play with nobody out. You don't want to do it with one out. Bourbon could not get to it. And Connor Jackson able with the ball hitting high up on the wall. So he's thinking about tagging. It's going to be caught, and then he's from a dead stop. And Mike Gallego figuring there's a double to the wall. You better score. We're not going to take any chances. Kurt Suzuki hit with the runner in scoring position in the third inning. And now it's Josh Willingham doing the same.
First pitch to Suzuki is foul back. So a quick 0-2 to Suzuki, who had that RBI hit in the third, also grounded out in the second. So back-to-back doubles here in the fifth. A's have 3 doubles in the game. Murphy racing in left field, and he's going to get there for out number 1. So Kurt will not be happy with that at bat.
Well, Wilson did exactly what a pitcher wants to do with a right-handed batter. Pitch him inside, get him to try to pull the ball to prevent the runner from advancing from second to third. Ideally, the hitter wants to move the ball to the right side to advance the runner. So I'd say Kurt didn't do his job, but Wilson did, and it's kind of tip of the hat there. He's got a big 2-run or 2-out RBI single to his credit.
So David DeJesus will hit. DeJesus towards short. Andrews makes a nice play on the in-between hop. Kind of a soft line drive. So Willingham had to scramble back to second base, and that's 2 outs.
Well, they do have plenty of time. Andrus did with able to take the chance of getting the runner at second. Once that did not happen, then he was able to
Number 5.
Get to Jesus at first. So the A's did not want to waste this leadoff double, but it's going to take a 2-out hit now to do it.
Kuzminov has walked twice in the game. Kuzminov was 2 for 10 in that series against the Angels. First pitch is a strike. All the games in the American League are now final. So I'll give you a rundown in the next inning. Willingham, pretty good lead at second. Nobody holding him on. Well, Fister. Moreland is going to handle a tricky hop. He grabbed it with the bare hand. Kuzminov's out. Side retired. A's get a run on the Willingham double. So we're headed to the 6th. 2-0 Athletics. Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Right now at Jack in the Box, get the new bourbon barbecue steak grilled sandwich at participating restaurants. Overstock.com Coliseum is where we are at. That's the Comcast Sportsnet Value Deck. It is Authentic Fan Friday here at the Coliseum. Crowd a little over 17,000 tonight for the first of this 4-game set. You know, what a surprise. They're seeing another fine pitching performance by an A's pitcher. It pretty much happens every night. I mean, it really does.
It does.
It's
10 innings.
special.
No earned runs on Wednesday with Tyson Ross and the A's bullpen. Trevor Cahill continues tonight. Nice adjustments by Cahill as well, considering the two-seam fastball he likes to throw for strikes, keep it ball down, and sees a home plate umpire call the high strike early. Changes are needed.
Flips that one, and that's going to fall in right center field. So for the second inning in a row, the Rangers have their leadoff man aboard.
Now batting, number 7, David Murphy.
Went down and got a pretty good pitch from Cahill. Down and away, just served it out to right center.
So here's Murphy. Murphy takes low. Mentioned those scores. Angels beat the Rays 8-5. Angels had 17 hits in that game, and Irvin Santana got his first win. Santana the winner, Price the loser. Mark Trumbo had a homer and 4 RBIs for the Angels. So.
Not been hearing a lot about Irvin Santana with Weaver and Herron pitching so well for the Angels.
Murphy hits it fouled on the left field line. So 15-11 is the record for the Angels. Loss by the Rays breaks their 5-game winning streak. In Seattle, 5, Boston 4. Mason Vargas got his first win. Remember when we were in Seattle, A's faced Vargas, and he hadn't won a game since last August, I believe. Right. 14 starts since his last win. Well, he got a win tonight. In the dirt with the runner going. Powell's throw is there, and he is out.
Wow, what a throw. And I don't know what Nelson Cruz was thinking. Maybe he thought the ball was farther away, but it's right in front of Landon Powell, the left-handed batter. Watch the quickness. Landon Powell actually dropped the ball, and then a perfect strike. Watch this. Just lay the glove down and let him slide into it.
It's a perfect throw.
That is as perfect as you can make a throw. Got the secondary lead, did Nelson Cruz. Of course, the Rangers under Ron Washington always hustling, trying to take the extra base. That time, Landon Powell got it. What a great play. And that is not a caught steal, and that's basically just a 2-6 footer. A tremendous play by Landon Powell. Actually, in the short hop, caught it, then dropped it, and that's when Cruz took off. But Landon Powell throws extremely well, and it showed it right there.
Murphy with a base hit to left field. So an even bigger play by Powell.
But watch the ball. He caught it, and then it came up, dropped it, and saw he was going, and just laid the ball perfectly at second base. That, if you're an infielder, that's what you want. Put the glove down, catch the ball, let the runner slide into it. How many times last year in the Rangers American League Championship were they successful on that same play?
Yeah, and he runs pretty good.
Yes, he does. Fast. And it's not a bad play.
Right at Ellis. There's one, and there's two. Torrealba, a tailor-made double play. Bottom of the 6th coming up. 2-0 A's. Freeze cam. Coors Light Freeze Cam is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. It's the world's most refreshing beer. A's 2 and the Rangers nothing. Bottom of the 6th inning. No runs, 5 hits, an error for Texas. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Athletics.
C.J. Wilson, 91 pitches, and normally you say it might be his last inning, but remember, Nolan Ryan, the Hall of Famer, runs this club, and it's not so much the pitch count, but how's the pitcher pitching, to whether he comes out of the game or not. We saw that when Nolan Ryan took over and kind of insisted that the pitch count is okay, but let's not live and die by it.
Powell loops one down the first base line, and it's fair. So Powell just reached out, poked it, and he's got a base hit.
Fans, if you're looking for a way to entertain clients or employees, why not check out the A's Barbecue Terrace? There it is. It's nice. Barbecue Terrace includes a catered pregame meal and a game ticket and a private lower box seating area. For more information, call 510-638-GO-A's or visit oaklandathletics.com/groups. Barbecue Terrace. Now, if you want to do a game and you don't want to see anything, that's the place to do it. Left field, it's a great area because the food's great. It's even probably tops. But that view and trying to broadcast,
that would be tough.
It's a little bit different. Been there, done that, and food was good.
Yeah, well, that's why we're going to just do a game from the value deck. May 13th, Ray. Write that down on your calendar. We'll be upstairs.
Yeah, Chef Rodney shows up with some nice food. We'll be happy to talk about it. But actually, it'll be better up there.
Beltre juggles, but the Rangers still turn the double play on Pennington. Beltre was in on the grass when he fielded it, so that's a 5-4-3 double play.
Well, no panic from the two-time Gold Glover as he caught the ball and made sure he did get a good enough grip. Kinsler able to turn it very quickly. Very quick turn by Kinsler at second. But you know, when you're down at the diamond level and you're the same level as the players, the ball is hit, you really can't tell how hard the ball is hit, where it's going to go. So when we're in the value deck, we'll be able to see everything.
Exactly.
We need some food to keep us warm.
Yeah. You and I could get a picture taken together.
Let's not go that far.
Come on, buddies for life. You and me, buddies for life, Ray. Get some nachos.
Maybe you can bring Jack that night.
Come on.
Say, Jack, come on, let's come with Dad and take a picture.
I want a picture with my broadcast
partner. We'll do that.
I'm going to have you autograph it. Cruz has it. Side retired. A leadoff hit by Powell, but the double play erases him. On to the 7th. 2-0 Athletics.
Is brought to you by Xfinity TV, phone, and internet. reinvented, and by Chevrolet. Go to ChevyBaseball.com to support youth baseball and help make a moment kids will never forget.
Trevor Cahill, 6 shutout innings so far, 82 pitches, holding on to a 2-0 lead over the Rangers. Mitch Moreland, Julio Bourbon, and Ian Kinsler, 8-9-1. That's who Cahill will face. Four strikeouts and 4 walks for Trevor Cahill. Moreland, a fly ball to right field, deep right field, and then a single in the 4th. Indians beat the Tigers 9-5. It was a walk-off grand slam in the bottom of the 9th by Santana kid, young catcher.
Yes. Yeah. Injured his knee last year, surgery, and he has come back very strongly, as has center fielder Grady Sizemore.
So the Indians, best record in the American League now, 17-8. They've won 4 in a row. Tigers have lost 4 in a row. Swing and a miss. Took a little off on 3-1.
Excellent pitch on 2-0 and 3-1. Very good sinkers.
And that one was up. And Moreland didn't miss it. He lines it to center field. Another leadoff man aboard for the Rangers.
Well, if you throw the same pitch, 3-2, that he threw when he got strikes. But this one did stay up. Not much movement. And Moreland, as the pitch hit right over Trevor Cahill, almost hit second base umpire Doug Eddings. He had to get out of the way.
So here's Bourbon. Kuzmanov way in. Here's a strike. Well, how about the Minnesota Twins, Ray? They lost again, 4-3 in Kansas City. The Twins have lost 4 in a row. They're 9-16, and that's the worst record in the American League. Who would have thought that? They're really struggling. Bourbon tomahawks one down the right field line, but there's going to be room out there for Jackson, and he makes the catch. A little scary there off the bat.
I think he described it perfectly. The pitch opened his eyes, but watch him go up and get it. And fortunately, got under it just enough to keep it in the park. Bourbon, no home runs. He's driven in 6, hitting in the 9th spot in the batting order. But when you go down the line, it's 330. It is scary. That just approached the warning track.
Here's Kinsler. Inside to Kinsler. The White Sox lost again. Baltimore 10 and the White Sox 4. And the White Sox are 10-17. The White Sox and the Twins struggling big time. Off the end of the bat, shallow left. Willingham coming in. And that's out number 2. So Kinsler 1 for 4.
Many times he takes a big swing, you have to be concerned, but like you said, it's off the end of the bat, and that's the movement Trevor Cahill has on his 2-seam fastball. And it is so frustrating as a hitter to think that you have a good count to hit. You see a fastball, and there's just enough movement to hit on top of the ball, either beat it in the ground or into the bat, as Kinsler did, and relatively easy out.
First pitch to Elvis Andrus, breaking ball, first strike. Brett Balfour is now up in the A's bullpen. 93 pitches for Cahill.
One time I thought you looked at the Central Division of the American League, it was upside down. But I don't know so much anymore.
That's a good call, yeah.
Because Cleveland is playing extremely well. Kansas City's tailed off a bit. Tigers have lost a few in a row, but the teams you expect to be at the top, the White Sox and the Minnesota Twins, are not. Ben's over, what, 10 ribbies yesterday?
10 ribbies,
doubleheader against the Twins. You have the Tampa Bay Rays.
Well, Ozzie Guillen suspended 2 games today for
Tweety.
Yeah. Is suspended for his actions on and off the field following Wednesday's game versus the Yankees. So
he got ejected and then went in the clubhouse,
tweeted about what he thought about the game. Yeah.
How about the umpires, I guess, in the game? So, yeah. No.
That would be a no-no, yeah. Shot to right field, and that's a hit. Elvis Andrus reaches out, pokes it to right. So 2 on, 2 out, and now it's Michael Young. So a couple hits in the inning.
Well, we saw Nelson Cruz last inning kind of flip one to right field, and the same here with Cruz, or Andrus, that is, with the pitch away from him. And with 2 strikes, serving it out to right field.
So the meeting is over. About 4. Just started to loosen up. So always a tough out in these spots. Michael Young.
Now batting, number 10, Michael Young.
He's 1 for 3. But so far this year, with runners in scoring position, he's 13 for 24. Be careful.
16 runs batted in. You're right.
Good pitch, outside corner strike.
Throw 3. Is it 3 of those? You got a chance to get it, but he will make an adjustment.
Young a ground out, then a single into third, and he struck out, swung at a pitch in the dirt in the 5th inning. Chopped over the mound. Ellis charges right at the bag, steps on the bag, side retired. 2 more stranded. 9 now left in scoring position for the Rangers. Cache Creek Casino Resort. Cache Creek's showers of cash with $500 cash every hour from 2 p.m. until midnight. Visit cashcreek.com for details. A's 2, Rangers nothing. Bottom of the 7th inning. Trevor Cahill has weaved in and out of damage tonight, and he's been so good at it. And he has shut out the Rangers through 7 innings. They have stranded 9 in the game. The A's have stranded 8 through 6 innings. So there's been a lot of traffic on the bases, but missed the 2 RBI hits for the Athletics. Here's Derek Barton. So Barton, Jackson, and Willingham.
Derek Barton needs a broken bat leader. Hey, this may be a get down.
And it will fall in front of Murphy. So a leadoff hit.
That's really not hit that hard, but perfectly placed. Great inside out swing by Derek Barton. Stayed inside the ball with that patented opposite field hitting. And who knows what would have happened if that ball had been caught.
That's David Bush starting to throw. Wilson right at 100 pitches. First pitch to Connor Jackson, a shot. Kinsler leaps up to catch it. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. That hit by Barton. That's the 4th straight inning that the A's have had their leadoff man aboard.
Outfielder, number 16, Josh Willingham.
So Josh Willingham will hit. Willingham had an RBI double in the 5th. That RBI for Willingham, his 14th of the season. His team leading 14th.
Looks like the A's going to turn over the 8th inning to the bullpen. Grant Balfour hitting up and
back up.
Trevor Cahill about at 100 pitches. Another brilliant performance. 7 innings of shutout baseball against a top hitting offensive club in the American League. Well, after his start in Chicago, where he couldn't grip the baseball, might have been thinking a little bit about his contract. He has pitched great baseball since then. Detroit, Seattle, and tonight against the Rangers.
Ahead of Willingham, 0-2 is Wilson, and the pitch, fastball inside. It takes off, and the pitch is rolled foul. So.
It's a great jump. First move, Barton. And he would have second stolen easily with 2 strikes on Willingham, and he had to swing.
A lot of pitches early in the game for Wilson. He had 40 after 2 innings. Two and 2 the count. .116 is the season high in pitches for Wilson. See Torrealba tapping his glove on the ground, so he wants it down in the strike zone, maybe a little lower than that. Hit hard. Kinsler can't get it, and that's a base hit for Willingham. So Josh Willingham is 2 for 4. Ron Washington looking down to the bullpen, and
they're going to see if Wilson got one off his body someplace, because he did deflect it. He's calling or telling them he's okay. And Jamie Reed, Mike Maddox, and Ron Washington, the trainer, pitching coach, manager, all going out to check on him, but See how the ball did change direction, but it looked like Wilson tried to kick the ball. Get the ball back up the middle. Yeah, just off his right foot. He tried to get a little kick save to one of his infielders. Dangerous part about that, if it hits off your shoe, it's okay. Your ankle,
yeah.
Ankle bone, It's a little different. But he immediately waved him off.
So he's okay, and they're going to leave him in there. David Bush is certainly ready out in the bullpen. He's been out there for a while.
Number 8, Kurt Suzuki.
So Suzuki hits, 2 on and 1 out. A ground out, RBI single, and a fly out for Suzuki, 1 for 3.
And might as well have a good night, Daddy. New Daddy.
Kurt DHing tonight. That one drops just a bit low, so it's 2-0. Eight hits now for the A's with their 2 in this inning. Double look by Wilson. So that was pitch number 110 for Wilson.
Pretty good pitch to hit, too. Kurt Suzuki, though, with 2 strikes. And if he'd done anything with it, might have been a right center field shot.
Down the right field line, but that is going to reach the seats just over the bullpen. Nelson Cruz got hurt down in that area last year. Remember, he hurt his ankle. Or was that 2 years ago?
It was 2.
Mixed up 2 years ago.
Had hamstring injuries last year, both hamstrings. Well, Delaire's got a memory, does he? Rajay Davis walk-off triple.
Sure does.
First thing Delaire said. It wasn't even Elvis either.
Now Wilson's ready. David DeJesus, left-handed hitter, is in the on-deck circle. Breaking ball. Suzuki fouls it straight back. One other note from baseball today. Andre Ethier got another hit.
Yep, that's good.
Extending his hitting streak to 25 games. So the Dodger right fielder continues to be a big story in the early going of the season. He had a double in the 5th inning of that game going on at Dodger Stadium. So 25-game hitting streak for Andre Ethier. Bouncer, Andrus to his right. Out at second, Kinsler's throw is not in time. It gets past him, and the A's are going to get a run. A costly error by Kinsler, and it's 3-0. So the second error by the Rangers, and both errors have cost them a run.
Well, it really is going to be a tough play to double up Kurt Suzuki, and great job of going into second base by Josh Willingham. Boy, you like to see that. Enough of a hard slide, not being held at first base. Willingham got on Kinsler, and he had to throw a little flat-footed underneath, and a lot of sink on the ball, and it ended up past Moreland, who could not come up with it. And sometime there for a first baseman, come off the bag, block it like a catcher.
Have to.
Instead of trying to catch it, scoop it to make a spectacular play, and might not have gotten a double play anyway. So the A's will take the break. But Willingham, look how quickly gets down to second base, and there's the flat-footed slide, and the reach by Moreland, and Josh Willingham with a pump of the fist, and rightfully so. But you don't get the double play, and instead a bad throw, and A's pick up a run.
So 2 outs with Suzuki at second, and the pitch is a strike, so 1-1. Remember, in the third inning, Bourbon charged with an error on a ball he really should have caught in center field. That was off the bat of Derek Barton, and Barton eventually scored.
It should have been an earned run and a double, but was not. But the A's will take the run.
De Jesus is 0 for 3 tonight. Slices one, left field line, just foul. Casey Chavez, the bullpen catcher, trying to help Dana DeMuth out. Watch Casey.
20.
Oh, that's fair.
Fair ball.
Easy fair. Not even close. Good try, Casey.
Yeah, at least make it closer with some chalk.
He wasn't really convincing with the point. Strike 3 called. De Jesus strikes out looking. The A's get an important insurance run. So we go to the 8th inning. It's the A's 3 and the Rangers nothing. A's 3, Rangers nothing, top of the 8th inning.
Number 29,
A's have gone to the bullpen. Grant Balfour taking over. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog expert. So Trevor Cahill goes 7, right at 100 pitches, and now it's going to be up to the bullpen to hold on to the 3-0 lead.
A little bit different style of pitching. Trevor Cahill for 7. And Grant Balfour comes in with a good fastball up in the zone, 4-seamer. Cahill, 30 batters, 19 first pitch strikes. You look at 4 walks, maybe not, but he settled down and did a job when he had to.
3 in the first inning.
Yep. And he got the big out with Murphy with the bases loaded. Big out with Bourbon, 2 runners on in the 4th, and 2 runners on in the 7th. Got a big out off the bat of Michael Young.
Another leadoff hit for the Texas Rangers. Well, A's fans, introducing at CSN Authentic in-game hashtags. It's another Authentic Fan Friday. Post your comments on tonight's game and use the hashtag FanFriday. We'll be retweeting the top comments, and you could win an Authentic A's prize. Play along with at CSN Authentic in-game hashtags Fan Friday. So a leadoff hit for Beltre, his first. 4th straight inning that the Texas Rangers have had their leadoff man aboard. Cruz with a walk and a single tonight. He is also lined out to center field. David Murphy, a left-handed hitter, is in the on-deck circle. That's Ryan Tucker, right-hander, starts to throw. Two-0 fastball. Cruz takes it. Balfour pitched in the game on Wednesday. He's won that game in 10 innings. Through a scoreless inning. Three and 1. Be careful here with Cruz. He got a fastball and he fouls it down the right field line into the chairs. 7 hits, the 4 walks, the 4 strikeouts. Just 1 3-up, 3-down inning for Trevor Cahill. That was the second, so he really pitched in traffic pretty much the whole game. But when you're as good as he is, it doesn't seem to bother you a whole lot. Swing and a miss, high, hard one. Cruz. He swung that ball 4, so Balfour will take the strikeout.
All the more reason, if you have a good fastball challenge, a fastball hitter, he's going to be aggressive up in the zone. Of course, that's the strike that Kerwin Danley called on Kinsler to start the inning as far as the height. Maybe a little bit inside, but Nelson Cruz got the good fastball from Grant Balfour inside, could not handle it.
One out for David Murphy. Fastball for a strike. Murphy with a couple of home runs on the year. Swings, hits one to left. Playable for Willingham as he gets back, and he's got it, and that's out number 2.
Excellent curveball after some good fastballs. Grant Balfour with 4 quality pitches. Not bad for a guy coming out of the bullpen.
Now batting, number 8, your meet, Torrey Alba.
So here's Torrey Alba. Torrey Alba hitless tonight.
in for a strike. Ground out, strikeout, and a double play grounder for Torrealba. So a very quiet night. Now he's behind in the count, 0-2. Barton playing in front of Beltre. First pitch, called the ball. Stays 1-2. A day game tomorrow. And we're going to televise it for you. 1 o'clock here on, it's going to be on Comcast Sportsnet California Plus tonight. Brett Anderson and Colby Lewis, the matchup tomorrow, so make sure you join us for that. So 3 straight day games, Saturday, Sunday at 1, and then Monday it'll be a 12:30 start.
See, Raleigh's ready to come in the 9th inning if needed.
Up the middle, and Torrealba. Good at bat by Torrealba as he slaps a single into center field. Beltre hustles around to third. So the inning stays alive.
Well, you just cannot expect the Rangers not to come through with a key hit. Runners in score position. Trevor Cahill, tremendous job for 7 innings.
Number 18, Mitch
leaving
Moreland.
9 runners on base. Rodriguez, the bullpen, getting the call. Once again, a couple of guys on, but with 2 outs. That's what happened in innings 1, 4, and 7.
And it'll be the closer, Fuentes, who starts to shake it out a little bit.
Yeah, they're the closer, and Andrew Bailey is making a lot of progress.
Had a good session today. Guys were standing in against him. Threw down in the bullpen. You think how good the A's pitching has been in the early going. And you're doing it without an all-star closer. Billy Beane, the GM, watching closely.
A couple of DL guys, and Andrew Bailey throwing. Adam Rosales. You like to see those handshakes. That's good. That means he's taking his time to make sure that it is strained a forearm. That is the good news. We saw it happen in spring training, that it wasn't worse. Conversation from Ron Romanek, the A's pitching coach, and Landon Powell is about this guy, because there's no doubt Moreland swings hard.
There's a strike. So back-to-back off-speed pitches from ball 4. 1-1 the count. Moreland 2 for 3. A couple of singles. Tucker and Bush both throwing. Fastball right there, and Moreland took it. 1-2.
Can't say he's looking for something else, because he's got to be looking fastball all the time, but just couldn't pull the trigger. And that was a pretty good one to swing it.
In the dirt. 2-2 the count.
Yeah, your fastball hitter, and you let a 2-1 fastball go like that.
Good swing there by Mitch Moreland.
Extra on the fastball, 91 and up in the zone.
So another 2-2. Beltre, he's at 30, led off the inning with a single. Your Torrealba, the 2-out single, is at first. Strike 3 called right down the middle, and Moreland took it. Wow. Couple of strikeouts for Balfour. Bottom of the 8th coming up. 3-0 A's. Toyota dealers. Trevor Cahill, very sharp again tonight. When he got in trouble, he pitched out of it. 7 shutout innings. Kurt Suzuki with the RBI hit. That was in the 3rd inning to give the A's the 1-0 lead. Josh Willingham, the RBI double in the 5th. That gave the A's a 2-0 lead. A's would add another run in the 7th inning. Unearned run. 0-9-2 for the Rangers, 3-8-0 for the Athletics. The Rangers have stranded 11 runners in the first 8 innings. So any chances they have had to score, Cahill and Grant Balfour have pitched out of jams. New pitcher for the Rangers, Ryan Tucker, when it's time for a change. Think speedy oil change and tune-up your oil change, tune-up and smog expert. So Ryan Tucker, big right-hander, takes over. Face Kuzminoff, Powell, and Pennington. Tucker, 24 years old, from Burbank, California. Pitched a little bit for the Marlins in 2008, and now back in the big leagues with the Texas Rangers. The A's, talking about stranded runners, they've stranded 9, but they've got a couple big RBI hits in the game. A couple of errors by the Rangers. A's have taken advantage of that. High fastball, Kuzminoff swings and misses.
Time now for the Home Depot doing more on defense. How about Landon Powell? This was big. Nelson Cruz at first. Somebody out of ball in the dirt. And he actually dropped it in. Landon Powell dropped that perfect throw to second base. Cliff Pennington put his glove down. The ball was right there, and Cruz slid into it. And of course, the next batter got a base hit, so that could have been first and second. Instead, a great play by Landon Powell. And the runner, Cruz, out at second base. Not a caught stealing, a 2-6 putout. But still, an excellent play. Back-to-back games caught by Landon Powell. Wednesday, 10-inning game in Anaheim. The A's winning 2-1 tonight. So far, the A's have shut out the Rangers 3-0 in the 8th. So Holden, his boy, his son, Holden, got to be proud of Daddy. He wants to play some catch tomorrow after the game.
Sure. Plenty of daylight yet. So Fuentes will have the ninth. Three and 0 to Landon Powell. Powell a walk, a flyout, and a single. So he's been on base a couple times tonight. Fastball inside for a strike. 3-2. Just the Dodgers and the Padres. The only other game going on. That game in the 7th inning. Swing and a miss. Got it. It's back-to-back strikeouts by Ryan Tucker. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th.
Challenge with the fastball. Pretty good fastball. Nice, easy delivery. And then which is up in the zone with a little giddy up in the fastball, and a good one.
So Pennington will hit. So one more day of April, and then on Sunday we hit the month of May already. How about that?
Well, the A's need back-to-back wins against the Rangers to have a 500 month of April.
A's are 12 and 13 right now. Get off to a good start, or in the A's case, a decent start. Behind first, Moreland and Kinsler chasing it. Kinsler dropped it. He went for the basket catch, popped out of his glove.
Well, it's just a very casual attempt with the ball coming down, and really you can see him watch the ball but not follow it into his glove. It ends up hitting in the heel of the glove. Sit down, but that's always a tough play to run that far. Oh, come on, Chuck. Wow, E4, that's horrible. He only ran a mile and a half. Put a glove on it, though.
Swing and a miss. So Tucker strikes out the side, and we're going to the 9th. Fuentes will try to save it. 3-0 A's.
and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
Well, the A's trying to grab game one of this 4-game series against the Rangers. They are 3 outs away from doing just that with a 3-0 lead. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Brian Fuentes looking for his 7th save of the year. He's going to face a pinch hitter, Mike Napoli, hitting for Bourbon. First pitch in for a strike, so Napoli hitting.
Napoli, the catcher for Brian Fuentes in Anaheim. They traded the Vernon Wells deal, and then Toronto traded him to the Texas Rangers. A powerful right-handed hitter.
So it'll be Napoli, Kinsler, and Andrus. So Cahill for 7. Balfour worked out of a jam in the 8th. Fuentes here in the 9th. 0-2 pitch to Napoli. That's high. Remember, join us tomorrow, 1 o'clock. When our coverage will start for game 2 of the series. Brett Anderson, Colby Lewis. Anderson looking for his 3rd win of the year. Colby Lewis has got knocked around a little bit. Bouncer over the mound. Ellis has it. Throw first, and that is out number 1.
Time now for the Fremont Bay plays of the game. Josh Willingham out for a couple of games, came through though with a big run-scoring double to left center, and that would score Connor Jackson, 2nd run of the game, but just as big. He's clapping his hands at second. He does it again as he goes into second base hard. Ian Kinsler makes a bad throw to first, and a run scores, Derek Barton. So Josh Willingham right in the middle of a couple of runs today or tonight. Kurt Suzuki driving, and that is Dallas Braden next to him. That's Kurt Suzuki also driving in the first run. We'll see Dallas Braden back with the club. He's on the disabled list. Tyson Ross filling in for him. An outstanding start Wednesday against the Angels. But Dallas getting treatment. Stiff wrist in his left shoulder. It's Adam Rosales next to him. It's Adam. And just to reintroduce you to a couple of guys. Always like to keep everybody informed.
Get him back. Strike to Kinsler, 1-1 the count. Don't forget, tomorrow is also Ricky Henderson bobblehead day, so should be a nice crowd. Come on out, get the Ricky Henderson bobblehead. You get those Hall of Fame bobbleheads. Those are awesome.
August 13, you get a Hall of Shame.
No, I want a couple of those things. 2 outs, Kinsler to right field. I'm going to get the Ray Fosse bobblehead. I'm going to see how I can mount it in front of my car. Just cruising around.
Yes.
Serious.
Number 1, Elvis Andrus.
2 outs for Elvis Andrus. Fuentes trying to have a nice, clean 9th inning. Had the blown save, but ended up getting the win on Wednesday in Anaheim. Nobody likes to blow a save, but I think there's something to the fact that if, okay, in a blown save, but did your team still win the game, which is certainly possible.
It's hard to believe, reading in Anaheim, the number of saves that have been blown in Major League Baseball this year.
Yeah.
What, 83?
Seems like a lot, doesn't it?
An awful lot. Of course, it's more than just the 9th inning, too. But they were projecting it could be as many as 100 blown saves combined in Major League Baseball in the month of April. Of course, a longer month because it did start on April 1st and actually March 31st in some cases, but counted the month of April. That is a lot of blown saves. Even Mariano Rivera with back-to-back blown saves. But yes, you get the win, doesn't matter.
Past a diving Derek Barton, so the Rangers stay alive. Elvis Andrus has his 2nd hit. That's 10 hits now for Texas.
Now batting,
And Michael Young will hit.
Michael Young.
So Michael Young steps in. He's 1 for 4. A couple of ground outs, a single, and a strikeout so far. Andrus takes off, and he'll get to second. The first pitch is a strike. If Young were to get on, Beltre would be next. That's probably not the guy we want to see.
You don't want to think about that. And Michael Young, a very good third place hitter, and that's where he's hitting in the lineup. Always hit in the top, either leading off second or third throughout his great career.
Slider down and into Young. So the count is even at 1-1. He's trying to get Trevor Cahill his 4th win. Way inside, so 2-1. Fuentes trying to get save number 7. Young stands, as always, still a long ways from the plate, but he hits the ball the other way very well. And that one way inside, 3-1. Young flares one to right field, and that's going to drop in for a hit. Andrus is coming home, and he was being actually held by third base coach Dave Anderson, but Andrus just kept on running. He scores easily, so Michael Young has an RBI. The shutout is gone. It's now 3-1.
Well, Andrus running on contact with 2 outs, and Michael Young actually going after ball 4, pitch up in the zone. And Anderson, from his standpoint, first of all, I don't think the throw is even going to be considered to be thrown home, but trailing by 3 runs. And what Anderson is wanting is this guy to come up, and indeed he is. To
first pitch to Beltre is a strike. Hey, Ray, you see our outfielders? They're out there, folks. I promise you. Wow, look at that. That is the deepest I've ever seen outfielders play.
That's a no triples defense, right? Now, you like to be playing no home run defense.
0-1 to Beltre. Off speed pitch outside. 1-1 the count. So what you're really trying to do is keep Beltre off second base. Because if he were to get a hit, he would become the tying run, but keep him out of scoring position. Not close. 2-1. Nelson Cruz is in the on deck circle. Fly ball center field.
If he can
coming in is DeJesus, still coming in. He's got it, and that's the ball game. So the Rangers get a run in the 9th inning, but it's not enough, and the A's take game 1 of this 4-game series by a final score of 3-1. So Trevor Cahill gets the win. He is now 4-0, and Brian Fuentes gets the save. For him, it is his 7th save of the year. So finally, the A's win the first game of a series, something they have not done a lot of this year. They've seen themselves have to come back and win the later games in the series, but good ball game tonight. Trevor Cahill, when he did get in trouble, he was able to work his way out of it, and even the 2 relievers worked into trouble and then got out of it. So all in all, the A's will take it. It's a 3-1 win, and they are back to the 500 mark at 13-13. So what we need, Ray, is to get back to the 500 mark, which the A's have. And now you need to push away from that 500 mark a little bit. We've said that a couple times this year.
Just happened. Jesus was not playing so deep he couldn't get to a routine fly ball. That was the concern. He's playing so deep. But it was a good win, and especially against the Rangers club that, sure, they have a few guys that are injured. The A's have some too. All teams have injuries, but you have to take advantage of opportunities. The A's did tonight to get a win to start this homestand. And I think they're back to 500 at home, too.
Yeah, they are.
So that's good news. 500 on road, 500 at home, and you're right, to try to get a little bit of space.
Well, there's plenty of heroes, as always, when the A's get a win, but kind of a special guy tonight. Kurt Suzuki's downstairs. Kurt, the designated hitter, but you're a little tired for good reasons. First of all, congratulations on the birth of your daughter. How is everything going at home?
Oh, everything's great. Renee's doing great. Malia's doing great, and it's such a precious time, and she's a beautiful baby, and I'm excited to go see her again tonight.
Now, you were telling me tonight that you had a rough couple of days. Now, let's be honest. How rough were your days compared to Renee?
I said I had rough days, but she had rougher days. So,
I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, well, you didn't ask me that part. You said, how you feeling? I said I had rough days, but she had rougher days.
Yeah. So, Kurt, you got home. I know you had an early flight on Wednesday, correct? So,
yes.
So take us through Wednesday. How did it go? Obviously, a very busy day.
Yeah, well, I went straight to my apartment out here in Santa Ramon, picked up some stuff and got into some comfortable clothes and went to the hospital. And from then on, she's already in the hospital and getting her medications and stuff like that. So just kind of hanging out with her for some time, and the other fun stuff were about to happen, and she was chiefing it out through, and she's a tough girl. So she had some rough times, but we all got through it, and we got a beautiful baby.
And you drove in the first run tonight for the Athletics, so dedicated the first ribby of your new life to Malia tonight.
Yeah.
A big hit for you.
First hit as a daddy, so that was great.
Kurt, talk about facing C.J. Wilson, and you guys know everything that these guys do, but we were showing some highlights of him in our open about the hard breaking ball down on him to right-hander, similar to what you guys have in Brett Anderson and also even Cahill with the breaking ball. But down and in, how much were you looking for that? Because you seem to stay back so well and attack the ball, but it was a similar breaking ball that you have caught.
Yeah, well, he's real crafty now. He still's got that 92, 94 in the tank, but he pitches a lot. Takes some off his fastball, sinks a little bit, cuts it a little bit, and he got me out on the first at bat with a little backdoor slider, and kind of sat back a little bit. I saw it pretty well. It came close to me, and I hit it to the left. So that was a good pitch for me to hit. It's because he's got other stuff that he locates pretty well.
Kurt, what about DHing? I think you've probably done it a little bit in your career, but are you one of those guys that it's difficult to do because you're so used to playing every day?
Yeah, I'm used to playing every day. Obviously, Bob knows I hate DHing, and I think I made it pretty clear that I hate it. But, like I said, whatever helps the team, and I just hit and then go back into the batting cage and meditate so I don't drive myself crazy.
Now, we have to find out. You've gone to the facial hair, you shaved it, had it back, now you've shaved it. What are we going to see now, especially as a new daddy?
Oh, you're going to see it shaved. I didn't want to scare my daughter.
Good idea. Good idea. It'll be a while before she notices, but she will notice.
Yes.
For sure.
All right, Kurt, congratulations on everything that's going on at home. You got a brand new daughter. It's a wonderful time for you, so thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
All right, so Kurt Suzuki, a happy man and a big hit in this game. The A's have struggled with runners in scoring position this whole year. But when they have such good pitching, you only need one or two big hits. And they got two big hits tonight. You win the game 3-1.
And the best to Renee, who did the work. And I'm sure they're with Malia watching tonight's game. So if you are, congratulations on your first child. And Daddy got a big hit tonight to help the A's win.
So the A's indeed take game one of this series over the Texas Rangers. Final score, the A's 3 and the Rangers 1. So Trevor Cahill now 4-0 with a 1.88 ERA. Don't go away. A's Postgame Live with Barry Tompkins and Fernando Villa starts right now.